Let's talk about something you see almost every single day, the simple cardboard box. You think it's about as basic as it gets, right? But what if I told you there's a whole hidden world behind that box? A story about huge costs, production headaches, and a groundbreaking piece of technology that's changing the entire game. Let's dive in.
So let me just ask you this straight up. What do you think costs the most when you're making a corrugated box? Is it the paper itself, the glue, the power to run the machines? Well, the real answer might surprise you because it has almost nothing to do with the actual materials.
That's it, right there. Manpower. The biggest and honestly the most overlooked cost in making boxes the traditional way is the sheer number of people you need on the factory floor. It creates bottlenecks, it bloats the budget, and now, with labor shortages being a real problem, it's become a massive challenge for the whole industry.
Okay, so to really get why this new solution is such a revolution, you first have to understand the problem. So let's take a closer look at how things have been done for decades. You know, the old school legacy way of making a box.
The traditional way is, well, it's a bit of a mess. It's not one smooth process. It's a clunky assembly line with different separate machines. A sheet of cardboard goes into one machine for cutting. Then someone has to physically pick it up and carry it over to another machine for slotting and creasing. This whole dance requires a whole team of operators, many of them skilled, just to keep things moving. It's slow, it's inefficient, and frankly, it leaves a ton of room for error. And this number really gets to the heart of it. 7. That's how many people it takes to run just one of these old-school production lines for a single shift. You need 4 people just for the rotary machine and another 3 for the slotter. I mean, that is a huge operating cost, and it makes you incredibly dependent on finding skilled workers, which we all know is getting harder and harder.
But what if you could just flip that whole equation on its head? What if you could solve that massive labor problem once and for all? Well, that's exactly what's happening, thanks to some really brilliant engineering that was developed right here in India. This is a perfect story of homegrown innovation tackling a global challenge.
So, meet the Boxmaker. And listen, this isn't just some small upgrade. This is a complete rethink of the entire process. It's a fully automatic single-pass machine, and that single-pass part is key. It means a flat sheet of cardboard goes in one end and a nearly finished, folded and glued box comes out the other. No manual handling in between. 0.
The real magic here is the integration. The Boxmaker takes 6 different separate stages and combines them into one smooth, continuous flow. Everything from feeding the cardboard to the slotting, creasing, cutting, die cutting, and even the gluing, it all happens in one pass on one machine.
And this isn't some one-size-fits-all deal either. This innovation was designed to fit different kinds of businesses with different needs, which led to a whole family of these machines. So, let's meet them. So you've got 3 models to choose from. First up is the BT1800. They call it the Economical. It's a fantastic way to get into automation. Then you have the BT2000, the Ultimate, which is a perfect all-arounder for most operations. And for the really big jobs, there's the BT2500, the heavy-duty beast that can even handle super thick 7-ply board. They all have different widths and speeds, so there's a machine that fits pretty much any factory.
And hey, if you're thinking, oh, automation means I'm stuck making one boring type of box, think again. This system is incredibly flexible. It can be programmed to produce over 100 different box styles, so you get all the speed and efficiency of automation without sacrificing the ability to make custom packaging for your clients.
Okay, the technology is impressive for sure, but does it actually make sense on the balance sheet? This is where the story gets really, really good. Let's get down to the brass tacks and look at the numbers.
This right here, this comparison says it all. Remember that team of 7 people we talked about? The 7 people needed to run the old process? Well, with the Boxmaker, you need just 2. From 7 operators down to 2. That's not just an improvement, it's a complete transformation of your operating costs.
Let's just put one single number on that change. It is a 70% reduction in staffing needs. 70%. In an industry that is constantly fighting against labor shortages and rising wages, a number like that, well, it's not just a nice to have, it's a lifeline.
Now let's see how that actually translates into rupees every month. The savings are just massive. You can see the staffing cost plummets. And yeah, the depreciation on the new machine is higher, but even when you factor that in, the total monthly cost is almost cut in half. We're talking about saving over 90,000 rupees every single month.
And here it is, the knockout punch, the killer stat. With those kinds of savings every month, the entire machine pays for itself in just 36 months. That's right, 3 years. Think about that for a second. a major piece of equipment that totally revolutionizes your production line, and the return on your investment is that fast. It's incredible.
Of course, we all know that bringing in a big new piece of technology can feel a little daunting, right? It's not just about buying a machine, it's about the installation, the training, the support, and that's another area where this whole solution was designed to be as smooth as possible.
The whole experience is built to be easy right from day one. The installation is super fast. You can literally be up and running in just a few hours. The machine itself is so intuitive that operators of any skill level can learn it quickly, which is a huge deal. Even the maintenance is designed to be hassle-free, and it's all backed up by a full after-sales support system for any training or tech help you might need down the line.
You know, this quote really just nails it. We're not looking at just a clever piece of engineering here. We're looking at a fundamental shift in an entire industry, a move towards smarter, faster, and way more efficient manufacturing. This is what the future looks like.
So, to wrap it all up, what are the big takeaways? First, automation is the direct answer to the labor shortage problem. Second, the money makes sense. A payback in just 3 years is a no-brainer. You get a huge productivity boost from that single-pass system, all the flexibility you need with over 100 box styles, and way fewer headaches because the whole thing is easy to run and fully supported.
And that really brings us to a final thought. We've just seen how smart, focused automation can completely change the game for something as everyday as a cardboard box. It really makes you think, doesn't it? What other simple things in your business or in any business are just waiting for their own revolution? Thanks for watching.